Hi, everyone. I'm Stephen W. Long. This is The Writing Life. And I have said many times that here in McMinnville, we have some great writing-related events. And we're going to talk about a couple of those in a bit here. But we have a new one in town. And since this young lady is way smarter than me, I asked her to come talk to us about it. So Diane McMillen,
Hi.
welcome.
Thank you.
And I actually want to start a slightly different direction.
Sure.
Because I looked you up
Yeah.
on the library website, and it says that you are in outreach and homebound services. So I think I can interpret that, but tell me,
Yeah.
what is that?
Well, it is a service where people who cannot get out of their homes, we deliver books to them. And this started many, many years ago. So this has been going on for probably more than 20 years. And recently, with the pandemic, we've opened up delivery to everyone.
Right.
So it's still, they're like similar programs kind of running parallel to each other.
Okay.
But I do myself and 3 volunteers. It's a little more personal service. I know the folks, I know what they like.
Oh, sure.
Can help them pick out things. And my volunteers that deliver are, they are able to stop and kind of check in with the folks and talk a little bit. So,
Man, that's important.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I knew about the pandemic or during the pandemic
right.
because I used that service.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that it extended farther back in time.
Right, and just for folks that couldn't make it into the
Right.
library, but now it's open to everyone, and it's really, really nice.
Well, I'm glad you are. Thank you. So we're going to talk about the new event, and would you describe that?
So for the very first time, we're having a local authors fair. It's going to be on February 24th from 2 to 4 in the afternoon. And we have opened up, invited local authors to come and have their books there for sale, meet and talk with the visitors. They can ask questions about the book or about just writing in general. And we've just had a lot of folks talk to us and say, I have this book, I'd love to get information out there to people, and we thought this would be a great way for folks to get the chance to meet a lot of authors at one time.
Well, I think so too. And maybe you were surprised, maybe not, but I suspect that you had plenty of applicants.
We did. I mean, didn't know what to expect. We've had over 25 from Yamhill County.
Yeah.
And that's really pushing what we can what
Accommodate.
we can accommodate. So we just decided to close it to anyone outside of Yamhill County, residing outside of Yamhill County, because it was like, wow, what a treasure trove just here in our county.
Well, and I've said that to folks time and again, but I know that there are prominent authors in a variety of subjects, fiction and nonfiction.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's a fellow, I don't even know that has applied or is interested, but Charlie Price. And he was, I think he won the Edgar Award for children's literature.
Oh, fantastic.
Frank Lisiandro has written extensively about Jim Morrison and the Doors. So that was nonfiction. He's also advised on various books. Christine Bader, who we had on the show a bit ago, very interesting about her work both at British Petroleum, but then with the UN. So I hope that she's there.
I am recognizing some of those names.
Yeah.
We have such a great selection of genres.
Yeah.
Fiction, young adult, I believe there's a children's as well, nonfiction, poetry.
Oh, really?
I'm trying to remember if there's a memoir, but it seems like a really nice, broad selection.
A mix.
Yeah.
And when I've not attended something like this, but I have been to like a book signing. Mm-hmm. And I love to hear the authors talk about process.
Right.
Sometimes interpretation, and what I mean is, I heard a author speak about, here's an example. Somebody said, I loved the metaphor when the protagonist was walking through the carnival and took the hammer and hit the bell and it rang the bell, and the symbolism of that. And she later told me, the author said, I just needed to get him from here to there.
Yeah.
But people interpret things,
Right.
you know, through their own lens.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you're a writer, then you have so many questions you could probably ask. But even if you just really love reading,
Sure.
I certainly can think of many questions that I'd want to ask my authors. Just, you know,
Yeah.
what is your process? Where did you get this idea? What was the struggle for you? You know,
Yeah.
those kind of things fascinate me because I am not a writer, so I'm curious about what goes on behind
Yeah.
the scenes.
I suspect that it's as varied as there are authors.
Yeah.
In other words, probably, well, I think it does take discipline, but for some, I hate to use the word routine, but this is their job.
Yeah.
They sit there at 8 o'clock in the morning, they sit down, and Stephen King, as an example, has a word count, and he writes until he hits his word count. Other people are distracted because it's time to do the laundry or pick up the kids or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that the ticket is to get the job done however you get it done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so we're just super excited to see. Hopefully, and the folks that come they'll get a little card that if they collect a certain amount of signatures from the authors, they will be able to put in their card for a raffle, which is signed copies of many books from the authors.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that will be, I think we'll probably have a couple winners because there'll be so many books. We can divide them up.
Well, I would suspect it to be plenty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, and just sort of personal, but it's the authors donate a book.
Right.
But is it a book? In other words, if an author had 6 books, would he donate 6 books or
No, just one.
Just one. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, and we're asking that authors only bring 3 of their books just to kind of, because space is limited. But yeah, no, they're only donating 1 of their choice.
Yeah. Okay. You sort of indicated this was prompted by maybe patrons of the library.
Yeah, it's by authors really.
Oh, authors, okay.
Calling it in and wanting to do something, you know, and it was like, well, this is a lot to accommodate. How are we going to do it? And in looking around at other libraries in the state, I found West Lynn was doing this, like, and other libraries as well. So kind of followed their model, and I think it's a great idea. Hopefully, we'll be able to do this annually.
Well, I certainly hope so. Yeah. I know there was a time 3rd Street Books partnered with Linfield.
Right.
And I was on a panel actually. I think there was 6 of us, and we spoke to people. That was a little bit different. And the fellow's name escapes me, who wrote Garth Stein, who wrote the Art of Racing in the Rain.
Okay.
He was there as well. But again, now that's an individual. Mm-hmm. This seems unique in that it's so many. And did you say 25?
Over 25. I'm not sure of the exact number yet.
Boy, that's a bunch.
Yeah, and we're going to be both in the Carnegie Room, and then you'll be able to go back up the old stairs up to the what we call the fireplace room now. So
okay.
So there'll be 2 rooms of that. Originally, it was just going to be 1 room, but I have to get everybody in.
I'll have to take a wander over there. I know the Carnegie Room. I didn't know there were stairs.
Yeah, it's the old entrance, which we actually had open for a short time during the pandemic. But yeah, it's the old entrance, so you'll get to see that.
A little bit off topic maybe, but to me, our library seems special. You guys work hard. There's a lot of services. You really try to accommodate the community. Is that typical?
Oh, I think so. I hope so. I mean, but I do love my coworkers, and there's such a lovely atmosphere of working together, and we really believe in what we're doing, so it makes work a pleasure.
Yeah. Again, we have a little time, and this just occurred to me. the library is open to everyone. This is a curveball for you.
Sure.
But have there been inconveniences with people just hanging out?
No, because for me, and I think a lot of my coworkers, an important function of the library is to be that third place.
Okay.
I talk about, you have your home, you have your work, but you need a third place just to hang out. And or work, a lot of people are doing work in there. But it's important to have a place where you can just be and not have to spend any money.
Sure.
This was important when I was a young mother. It was like, where am I going to take my kids? It's hard to think of another place in town that you can do
Well, I
that.
can't think of one.
Yeah.
Now, also, there's the service at the library of the computers. Is that right?
Yeah.
And I've heard about people, I think, applying, maybe it's a job application or maybe it's unemployment or something, because they don't have a computer, but
Right.
the library does.
Right, yeah. We have a number of computers and they're used, from everything from playing solitaire, if that's what you want to do,
Really?
to applying for a job. Or, some people have computers or smartphones, but printers are often
Oh, I
not
never thought of
working,
that.
or you don't have a printer.
Sure.
So, a lot of times folks will come in just to print out something, so that's another thing they can do. We also have a small study room where if you have to do a Zoom interview or a Zoom meeting,
Really?
you can have it where it's pretty quiet. And so that's another thing. There's so many things happening at the library. So many people are surprised at we offer games and puzzles, which were really popular over
Sure.
the recent ice storm. Like folks were coming in and getting games and puzzles because they knew they were going to be kind of
Now, did they,
down.
in a sense, do you check those out or do you play it there?
No, you totally check them out. They check out for 3 weeks just like a book.
Really?
And we also have, this is a growing collection called the Library of Things. And it runs the gamut from like cake pans, cookie cutters, to tools.
Really?
What else am I not thinking of? But it's just a wide selection of things that maybe you want to use once in a while, but you don't want to buy it, An iron. We have an iron that
Really?
you can check out. A sewing machine. So that's I think a wonderful new thing that libraries are doing that just kind of can enrich people's lives
Absolutely.
and also help them keep their closets clean.
Well, okay, actually, so this is new to me. I didn't know any of this. I think it's terrific. But it did make me think, if somebody had a wrench or a screwdriver or I don't know what, could they donate that?
They certainly can talk to us. We are in a
Okay.
phase where we are going to be doing an expansion of the shelves for this collection, and so that's coming up in this next year, but we're not there yet.
Okay. Just from a logistical, and I put myself in the library's position.
Yeah.
I'm not a pessimist, but maybe a realist. I can see that there might be problems.
Right. No.
From your standpoint.
For sure, we don't want to have to deal with a bunch of donations because we don't have space for that. But we're willing to talk to folks if they have something. I would say if they have something unique.
Okay. Okay.
Then give us.
I was thinking of that. I was also thinking of somebody checks out a hammer and hits their thumb and.
Oh gosh, well, we'll have to talk to the city's legal people about that.
So I think we covered the author event.
Yes, yes.
And sort of the library in general. Anything else cooking there?
Just to reiterate, Saturday, February 24th, 2 to 4. It's kind of a short window, but I think that should be enough time for people to come and meet
Absolutely.
lots of authors.
Yeah, and we've got the contact information.
Right, yes.
So that takes us on to Terroir, which is not new.
No.
I think this is our 12th
I
year.
believe so, yeah.
And yeah, I know that you're involved in that as well.
Yeah, we are together in
Yeah,
the team. Huh?
yeah. So April 13th, I got some more information about cost. It's $60 for the general public, for adults rather. Seniors 65 and up, or veterans, or AAYC members and students is $50. Registration for, I don't know when this is going to air, but sometime middle February is going to be the registration. And lunch will be available for advanced purchase. And I think we have the website up there. Again, I don't, by memory, don't remember everybody, but Kim Stafford, I think, is going to be there again.
Molly Gloss.
Molly Gloss,
Yeah.
right? So really, I continue to be impressed with the quality of, specifically in Terroir, but again, around the town.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
For sure.
pretty terrific. And then the last thing is Paper Gardens, which is, I think I'm remembering right, Rachel Bouchard started that, and she was not a writer, but she just thought that this is something that we ought to have, and so she initiated that. Paper Gardens is open for submission until March 2nd, and I know that there are a variety of categories in terms of adult and student, but then within those, oh my gosh, haiku, traditional poetry, place, I think poetry of place,
Okay.
and then I believe both fiction and nonfiction, up to 1,000 words. But check that out on their website. But I would encourage. It's interesting to me that the amount that you can submit over the years has been reduced, and which I think is appropriate because it's popular.
Right.
And
yeah.
not that they aren't fun, but to read 500 poems is a lot.
That's a lot. And I want to add that
Yeah.
Paper Gardens is going to have a table at the author fair, so you
Really?
can pick up the information from them.
Oh, good.
On that day.
I wonder, because they have every year they have a chapbook. I wonder if they'll be for sale.
That's a good question. Maybe so.
Yeah, yeah. Well, good. Okay, guys. Paper Gardens. We talked about March 2nd. There's going to be the author celebration. In other words, the people who got published is May 9th, and that's at the Chehalem Cultural Center, as is Terroir.
Right.
Yeah, and if I didn't say, it's from 7 to 8:30 on May 9th.
Wonderful.
Lots to do, lots of writing stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
What a great spring it is for literary
yeah,
gatherings.
yeah. No, it's terrific. All right, we're going to let you go. I know you've got more to do. So, folks, thank you so much. We really appreciate you watching. I've said time and again, I'm just so lonely that if you want to write to me at stephenwlong.com, that would be great. Or I'm sorry, that's the website, and then there's a contact page. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Thank you for doing
Oh,
that.
sure.
Okay.
Well.